Where does spironolactone act in the kidney? Spironolactone is a diuretics which acts on the kidney, but which area? It is the question. The options are glomerulus, proximal convoluted tubule, descending limb of loop of Henle, ascending limb of loop of Henle, and distal convoluted tubule. So let's see some important diuretics. One of them is the potassium sparing diuretics, and this potassium sparing diuretics may be divided into two parts. One is the sodium channel blocker, and another one is the aldosterone antagonist. The amiodarone is a weak diuretic, and this amiodarone, it acts on the sodium channel in the distal convoluted tubule or DCT. On the other hand, the spironolactone, it is another antidiuretics. It is an aldosterone antagonist, and it also acts on the distal convoluted tubule. So the potassium sparing diuretics, they actually acting on the distal convoluted tubule. They are the amiodarone and spironolactone. Amiodarone, it is sodium channel blocker, and spironolactone, it is the aldosterone antagonist. Now see a picture of the nephron, and here showing the details regarding the diuretics. Here in case of proximal convoluted tubule, this one is the proximal convoluted tubule, and in the proximal convoluted tubule there is the acetazolamide. This is the acetazolamide. So acetazolamide is a diuretics. It acts on the proximal convoluted tubule, and in proximal convoluted tubule also the osmotic diuretics also work here. So the osmotic diuretics, that means the mannitol or manisol, it acts on in the proximal convoluted tubule. So acetazolamide and mannitol, they act in the proximal convoluted tubule. Now the second option is the loop of Henle. Second is the loop of Henle, and in the loop of Henle, which acts in the loop of Henle, they are acting the furosemide. So furosemide, it acts on the loop of the Henle. So in the Henle loop, acting on the loop of the Henle. If we remember the proximal convoluted tubule and the loop of Henle, the rest of all drug acts on the distal convoluted tubule. So it is very easy for us these two options. One of them is the proximal convoluted tubule. So in proximal convoluted tubule, what acts? One of them is furosemide, another one is the mannitol. So in proximal convoluted tubule, there is furosemide and mannitol, and in loop of Henle, they are acting on the, it is not furosemide, it is acetazolamide. It is acetazolamide and mannitol, and in the loop of Henle, they are acting furosemide. So if we remember this two, then rest of all antihypertensive, they acting on the distal convoluted tubule, such as this thiazide diuretics and potassium sparing diuretics like the spironolactone. So the spironolactone and thiazide, also the amiodarone, they acting on the distal convoluted tubule. So where the spironolactone act, it acts on the distal convoluted tubule of the kidney. I think this is very clear. In the glomerulus, there is no antihypertensive. In proximal convoluted tubule, there is the acetazolamide and mannitol. Then both of them are loop of Henle. In case of loop of Henle, they are furosemide acting. They are acting the furosemide. And in the distal convoluted tubule, their spironolactone acts, their amiodarone act, and other rest of the all antihypertensive acts on this distal convoluted.